Danny Flexen here for SecondsOut. Delighted to be joined once again by Caroline Dubois. Caroline, how you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
Glad to hear it. Now, not only are you going for your first version of a world title next week, but you're topping the bill at York Hall, 10-rounder, IBO title, Magali Rodriguez. How does it feel so early in your career to be topping a world title bill?
Definitely sooner than I thought it would be, and it's a plus, and it's amazing to be thinking that Sky is pushing me like they are and getting behind me, and sometimes I catch myself and I'm like, damn, why? You know what I mean? It's crazy, but I'm so appreciative, and I just want to show out, really.
And I was asking a similar question to Adam Azim, your stablemate, earlier here at McGuigan's gym. How do you feel about that side of things, about being representative of Boxer and of Sky? Because you do a lot of the media events, you're front and centre, you've done punditry work for Sky as well. How do you feel about that side of it rather than the in-ring side?
It's interesting. I don't mind it. You know, definitely easier than getting punched in the face and making weight. I'm sure lots of people will tell you, but it's a part of the sport, and I appreciate it, and I embrace it. But I also am mindful that this is not, you know, what it is that keeps me in boxing. You know, the training is the forefront, the most important thing. So I just enjoy that whenever I get an opportunity to do it, whenever I get interviewed, whenever I get, you know, approached to do punditry or commentating or whatever. You know, I just appreciate it, embrace it. But this is my groundwork. This is my foundation, this gym.
Do you kind of keep in mind how young you are relatively to a lot of the other pros? Because you've done so much already, it must seem like you're older than your years at times.
I hope so. I keep catching myself. You know, I think Sandy Roy, Michaela Mayer, Chantal Cameron, Natasha Jonas, Katie Taylor, all these girls, they're a lot way older than me. Even Alicia Baumgardner, you know, they're in their late 20s, 30s, and stuff like that. So I definitely am behind them in age and years, but in skill and ability, I'm right up there.
How do you feel about the young age you are being a role model for a lot of girls out there? Not just ones who are getting into boxing, but just generally.
It's insane. I don't know when the change happened from me being just a snot-nosed kid to being a role model now. So I just hope I can keep inspiring people through my actions and not, you know, just through words.
And your brother obviously turned pro before you did, and you were a part of that journey. You saw a lot of it from the sidelines and close proximity. Did that help at all into knowing what to expect?
Oh, definitely. It definitely helped, you know, seeing him at the fight, seeing him at his own big nights. Getting to understand what it is, you know, pro boxing is totally different from amateurs, and I was able to experience that firsthand when I watched my brother fight. So it was a good dress rehearsal for me, and it definitely helped, I would say.
And we have to talk about the somewhat contentious issue of the IBO championship. Where do you kind of view it, especially in comparison to the other so-called Big Four world titles?
Listen, for me, it's a world title. For me, it's a title. That's the most important thing. It gets my name out there. It gets my face out there. Lets people know that I'm someone who's contending. You know, I'm not just a prospect anymore. I see myself as a contender, and I want to be challenged. I want people to start calling me out. I want people to start mentioning my name and saying, "Hey, I want what Caroline has. I want what she wants." And I can't wait for that moment to happen. I just hope that the IBO shows my intentions as how I want to move and where I want to move. You know, it may not be the real thing in other people's eyes, but that's fine because I want the real thing, and this is just a start for me.
One thing in favour of the IBO, in my opinion, is that in Magali Rodriguez, you're taking on an opponent who'd be better perhaps than some of the challengers for the other belts at the moment. Very talented and tough Mexican. Pushed Estelle Mosley to a draw last time out. Have you seen that fight? And
Yeah.
what did you make of the result and the performance?
I thought Magali may have just nicked it. I think she really came on strong in the last 6 rounds, and she just started to take over, I think. And her experience, her style of fighting, you know, she was able to use that veteran mindset and just get on top of the inexperienced Estelle Mosley. You know, Mosley has a very amateur style, and she was able to take advantage of that.
And that was up at super lightweight, so she's a big girl. Also, as you alluded to there, very experienced. What do you think you'll be able to do differently to, say, Estelle Mosley to make sure you get the victory?
I think the difference between a Mosley is that I'm fully committed to the pros, you know. You see Mosley dancing back and forth between amateurs and pros. She's going back to Paris next year, so she's still in two minds, and I think it reflects in her style. She's got very in and out, for as much punchy. She doesn't really do a lot of body work. She doesn't really sit down on her feet, whereas I do that, you know. I'm fully committed, fully dedicated to the pro ranks and being a person who not just gets victories but gets, you know, knockouts, gets power punches, get knockdowns, and really pushes people and hurts people.
What are the kind of main goals for you? Is it unifying at a particular weight and becoming undisputed, or is it going through the weight?
Going through the weights for sure. Fighting as many champions and challenging myself against the best, and just being someone that people recognize and say, wow, she fought everyone.
You may still be growing. How, height-wise, how far do you feel you can go up the weights?
I think, pushing myself, I could go right up to 154, and hopefully I can do that. Definitely would be nice having to walk into camp and not have to make weight. That would be great. I look forward to those days. I'd see myself pushing myself all the way up to there, and I think that'll be the limit, but that's where I want to go.
Now, a worrying trend certainly this year or the last couple of years in boxing has been the amount of positive drug tests we're seeing. It's encroached upon the female side of the sport now as well, with Alicia Baumgardner recently. What did you make of that news? And I know it's hard to say solutions, everyone's trying, but is there anything you think boxing could be doing more in terms of the PED problem?
Definitely. I think there's always something you can do more. There's always more that you can do. I think boxing promoters, the organizations, the WBO, all the organizations probably need to start drug testing more consistently. I remember being an amateur, and we were getting drug tested every other week, and that's no lie. Like, I've never been tested as much as I have since I was an amateur. Going to the Olympics, I think I was getting tested once a week. It didn't matter which day, it was guaranteed it would be once a week. And for me at the time, it was frustrating because I didn't know about weight making. I didn't know that drinking water is actually good for you. So having to drink excess amount of water used to annoy me, but it was so paramount. And the fact that I've gone now from the amateurs to the pros, the amount of times I've been drug tested is, when you think about it, is ridiculous. Like, I've only been drug tested twice, and I think as a pro, I think there can be more to be done, more drug testing, and that needs to be pushed by the promoters, the organizations, and whoever's running boxing.
Does it ever enter your mind? So especially when you see a positive result on the female side, so your side of the sport, and she's not a million miles away from your weight either. Do you think now with upcoming fights, I wonder if she's on something, I hope she's not. Do you know what I mean? Does that enter your mind?
No, not at all. I think skills pay the bills. And I know I've got skills in abundance. So I'll never be afraid of stepping in the ring with someone. Even if they're like a killer and whack hard and hit hard, I would not be afraid of them, I believe in my own ability, and I would not be intimidated by anyone. So, yeah.
We mentioned Daniel briefly earlier. Obviously, in the last few weeks, he's had his big world heavyweight title fight with Alexander Usyk. Yeah. Very close, in fact, to becoming a world champion in his own right. A lot of controversy, of course, about the 5th round. What did you make of it? Were you watching it live?
I wasn't watching it live. My sister had it on the phone. I turned that down. Just give me the look if anything's happening. Just let me know without letting me know. You know what I mean? I think every once in a while I was peeking in, but I couldn't sit and watch it. I can't really watch things like that. But obviously he didn't get the victory, but it is what it is. I didn't think it was a low blow, but at the end of the day, it's the ref's calling. And we've seen the ref mess up before, Rolly Romero. We've seen fights where it's like, could he have let that go on? But at the end of the day, it's his call, it's his decision. You just got to respect that and just move on from that. And
have you spoken to Daniel since the defeat?
I'll be honest with you. I haven't spoken to Daniel or my dad since March, and that's a while now, so yeah.
Well, I don't want to pry into your personal business. All I would say is that must be hard for you, having spent so much time close with them in the past.
It is what it is. It's not good, it's not bad. It is what it is. I think when Daniel left the gym, I think Shane said that there was a family dispute, and that's what it was. So I haven't spoken to them since then. Obviously, I wish him nothing but the best. He's still my brother, still someone I've seen grow up since he was a kid. I know how hard he's had to train and how hard my dad's pushed him. So I don't want to see him fail. I don't want to see him not succeed. I want to see him be the best and do the best and achieve his dreams and more. So I'll always wish that on him, no matter what happens behind the scenes.
And how are you? Are you okay?
I'm fine. Yeah.
Good. Glad to hear it. Well, very best of luck next week. We'll be watching, of course. And yeah, look forward to seeing you win that IBO title.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Caroline.
No worries.
Really appreciate it.